Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome to the Patio Heat channel, where we provide visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. Send your request into designs@patioheat.com for your personalized recommendations. Our one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decisions for your applications. We strive to earn your business. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Now let's get heating. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this residential overall dimensions that I have for this structure. I have 22 feet this side over here, and then 22 feet on this side here. There are a couple of different measurements over here that may or may not be 100% accurate, but they should be fine. 14 feet here, 8 feet there, 8 feet over here, and then another 14 feet on this side over here. We have a ceiling or rooftop height here of 15 feet, and then I have the top edge of the beam over here that goes across at 9'5", the bottom edge at 8'5". That's pretty much about it. I do have this set up as a reclining space over here, dining space over here. That might be different. If there's a bar stool seating height, then we want to kind of look at that a little bit different. But as far as the reclining space height, this is going to be pretty much set for that type of seating here. So let's go ahead and look at some of the options that I would come up with. So there's two different types of units I would use. I would use either a Infratech C series. So this is a CD 6024 240 volt 6000 watt, and I have them mounted roughly just on the you can see they're kind of just hanging here in midair, but you'd have to put some kind of either a block to mount that to. So you do like maybe a 2x6 that goes from this rafter here to this rafter over here, and then same over here to make that mount just where you want it. So looking at just where you want it, this is my recommendation as far as the distances are concerned. So you can see here I have the units basically about 11 and a half feet center to center. So from the center of this bracket here to the center of this bracket here, it's at 11 feet 1 3/8. And then if you looked at the unit itself, center to center, it would be 11 and 11.6 from bracket to bracket, 11.6 and a half, and then 11 and 1 3/8 from center of the heater to center of the heater, and then also 8 feet center to center on each unit. Now the one thing I'm going to mention here is that the mounting height that I have these at are at 11 feet off the finished floor. That's one thing I'm not too happy about, because these are really designed for the 10-foot maximum height for, I should say, the 10-foot height for its preferred maximum footprint of heat. So, but let's go ahead and look at what the footprint of heat would be, and we'll go ahead and turn that on, and you can see here that at this height, the footprint of heat is a nice even footprint throughout the entire span of the patio. You have nice crossover here, and then nice crossover between the two. I do have these at a 6-degree tilt from straight down 6 degrees in towards the center of the patio, so that we can get that good crossover ray here. So that's one thing that you should note. But other than that, I think that would be a good application. Now, do you need a control system for this? Maybe, maybe not. I would say that at this mounting height, you would probably want to use this unit 100% on. But you could put a duplex switch on there or a control system. That would be really up to you. So, all right, so that's one option, and I'll go ahead and turn that off. And then the other thing I want to have just a quick look at is, possibly placing them on the outer edge. Now, I think on the outer edge, it would be, the intensity would be a lot better, but I don't think that the inner edge over here would be heated quite nicely. Now, if the seating pattern is similar to this, where you're sitting more towards the outer edge than you would be in the center, then this would be fine. And the other thing, I have these at a 30-degree tilt, so from straight down to the ground, 30 degrees up. it's mounted on the vertical surface here, and from when you mount it on a vertical surface and change the angle to that 30 degrees, you want to make sure that at the highest point of the heater that you have 6 inches of clearance to any combustibles above the heater itself. And let's go ahead and oh, I should also mention that the distances are the same that I had before on the other units. So let's go ahead and turn that on here. So you can see it's just that 8-foot section basically that I wanted to show, center to center on the heater itself. Okay. Now the other thing you can see here is that I'm not quite sure how this beam goes across this edge over here, or if it actually does. And so, you know, you may have to put a block here or something of that nature. And the other part is, if there is a door that swings out into the patio, then this would not be something that you can place here, because that would be considered a combustible item that would fit underneath the door, and that would not be safe. So if it's a sliding door, no problem, but if it's a door that swings out, then that's an issue you need to address. So let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. So the footprint of heat, like I said before, is really good for the outer edge over here. And, you know, primarily when you have the heater mounted over here, from this point right below the heater out about 8 feet is the total distance that you'd really feel the warmth, or the ideal amount of warmth to. So if this is similar to what that seating pattern might look like, this would be a fine application. And yeah, the other thing I should mention too is, you know, if you're back towards the heater surface this way, you know, you might have some shadowing on your front of your body. So you know, you might have colder legs or something of that nature right here, and that's kind of why I like to have the heaters above if possible. So just bear that in mind, that you know, this is not my preferred always option, but it's something that would work for the outer, you know, seating area over here. So I think that's about it. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the last option. And the last option, oh, one thing I do want to mention, I didn't mention before, is the CD units. These are 6,000 watts, like I said before, and 240 volts. But they have an output of roughly about 20,000, and we'll say 500. It's just under 500, so 20,500 BTUs. And for a space this large, I would say that you'd want a little bit more heat, and that's why I'm going to come up with this option here, which is to possibly place the gas heaters, which is a Sunpack S34 or TSH. I would say a TSH would be my preferred, so that you can have some kind of option with regards to, you know, dimming the heater from 25,000 BTUs to 34,000 BTUs. And what I did here is, we'll go ahead and show the distances on that. Essentially, I have those at a distance of 9 foot center to center on the heaters. They're pointed straight down to the ground. And then over here, you can see I have these at about 11. Now you can go, you know, as close as 10, but the crossover ray would be more intense. So I think 11 would be my preferred. And yeah, so that's what it would look like. Now these are roughly 50 pounds or just under 50 pounds, and so you'd have to have some sort of way to mount the brackets themselves. So if we look over here, you know, I show them mounted on the ceiling top here. You may be able to, you know, move it a few inches over and actually get it, you know, onto the ceiling joists, and then you'd have to, you know, cut the bars down a little bit lower than what they are today, and then just, you know, go ahead and move this bracket down. So we'll go ahead and do that here, just so we can see what it would look like roughly. But I just want to give you a comparison to the other side as well. So you can see here, you can mount something similar to this here. I don't have it matched up perfectly, but you know, over here, what you would do on this bracket, let's go ahead and just look at this one over here, so it's easily to see here. But here I have it mounted on the same slope as the surface here. I would utilize the bottom hole that comes pre-punched into this bracket, and then I drill a new hole into here, so that I like to have these bars pointed straight down to the ground as opposed to pointed out, and it kind of looks a little bit different. But in any case, you could do either one. If you did the second one where you just use the bracket and mount the brackets this way, then and I'm going to move this back here for right now. Then you'd want to probably move the bracket downhill a little bit on the ceiling slope, so that the heaters end up being at that 9-foot center to center mark. So you can see that here. In any case, yeah, these are 34,000 BTUs. The TSHs go down to 25 or 34, and I have them at 11-foot center to center. Let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. Footprint of heat is very good for the entire patio here. And one other thing I should mention is that with the 34,000 BTU heater, the clearance is going to be a minimum of 14 inches from this edge to the lower edge of the patio structure itself. So I think that's about it as far as this is concerned. And again, the doorway here should not be an issue with this pattern here, but yeah, this would probably actually be my preferred. Now, one thing I should also mention is, let's go ahead and just let's go ahead and do this real quick here. If this is a covered section here, I'll go ahead and just start from right here. But let's just say that there is a section of this patio that is enclosed. We'll go ahead and enclose it here, and we'll go over here, put it like this. So if this is an enclosed structure like this, then you want to make sure that there is some sort of ventilation in this area over here, and you'd want to do something like this where you would open this up with either a vent, placing a vent in here that would be kind of like an attic vent or something of that nature, that's louvered for keeping the water out if that's what you're trying to do. But same thing on this side over here. You definitely want the exhaust to be able to flow out of the structure and not have the heater into that exhaust area here. So if you didn't have a ventilation and this was covered like this, then the exhaust would have to flow out to the bottom. The heater would be in that exhaust and it would not function properly. So something just to think about on that. So all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, please send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful. We don't advertise, we're not monetized. YouTube does not promote our channel unless we receive a thumbs up from our viewers, and we truly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Have an excellent day.